link inside the chat in reply to Claudio message. And you can find the Lucid client, which is not that much clean, to be honest. Like inside the wallet select, you can find all these like commented code. But if you follow those videos and the sessions we had together, we can make sense of these things. And the other part would be the Apollo, which the code we were working, and we just crafted this transaction last week, and yesterday we just added the wallet. But what we are going to do is, firstly, exploring some secure way of adding this seed phrase or even a setup in your wallet, whether it is just seed phrase, you have verification file or signing key file, you generate those by Cardano CLI, for example. And how do you add them in secure way? And we will start from kind of less secure way till not very, but might be very complicated and interesting secure way. But in some cases, you might think it is overkill. But we will talk like why you should go through this step, like this more secure, or why not. And at the end of the day, all these efforts means what exactly in terms of safety, like how secure your system would be. Like, is it bulletproof or not? So yeah, that's a plan. But I don't know. Did we go live already? Okay. So let's just start with this. So normally, if you want to do something in your application, whether it is Golang, Java, C, C++, whatever, it is really wise to not include your secret or important strings, whether it is seed phrase here, API key, names, password, whatever. Normally, we will provide them as a string or something as an object of a string. Like there are different strings within the string. But it is wise to not do that. And the reason is, once you do this, although it is variable, like here in Golang, and in any other language, we have two places that we can assign values to them. One is constant, which basically means it doesn't change, well, hence the name. And the other one is variable, so it changes. In both cases, if you insert any string, it will be inside your binary and compiled code. But if you go with some obfuscation tools or packing, and packing tools are the one for compressing your binary. Like you compile your code, whatever, and it is like 100 megabytes. And if you pack that through some optimization in low level, like assembly, or even higher level in compile time, it will not that much, maybe 15%, like at most I've seen that, like 15%, especially regards to some codes which add a lot of stuff in them, like Java and I think PHP also as well, but Java adds a lot of stuff regards to the compiler and JIT and all this stuff. But in Golang, again, I think it is around that number, 15%. I hope today we will use one tool that is normally been using for this stuff. But regards to obfuscation, like what if you say that, hey, I want to put this in a string inside my code. It is necessary. But I will obfuscate it. And obfuscation means that the name of this variable or the functions, and as well as this string will change. Well, that's the issue. If you do obfuscation, your string, which is very important, like in our case, seed phrase or API key, it will change, because that's the whole purpose of obfuscation. It will take this name and change it to, for example, something very like confusing for reverse engineers or anyone who's going to analyze your code. So something like this would be, or trying to make a very smaller, like F. So as small or as big as much as possible, even hashing them, like using some hashing function for the name. But the whole purpose is just changing the name. But even in that case, if you use a variable, well, your string will change, so you don't want that. So you have to use constant. And as I said, it is same case for any other language, C, C++, Java, any, especially compile language, even Python. So if you use constant, basically it means, hey, do not touch this. So again, if if or me or anyone reverse your binary or just put in your binary into some tools, very simple tools. Like for example, in uh, any Unix operating system, we have a tool called strings. Strings. And if you just pass the binary to it, Apollo, I think, are we here? Yeah. We get CC, like, wow, all the string inside that binary is now available. Like I can see all these errors. All the string was added to this binary. And rest assured that your seed phrase, API key, whatever secret key password will be inside this as well. Maybe a strings will not find it, but definitely there are ways to find it. In reverse engineering, it's not really that much hard. And with the help of AI, especially, and adding these AI to some reverse engineering platform and frameworks, it is far easier, because that goes to AI, and well, I understand this is a link, so I don't care, but something looks fishy, so probably that is some secret thing, so I have to add it. But you might again say that, what if my seed phrase or other stuff is obfuscated? Well, now that's another story that we will talk about it. But one thing I just want to say right now, for starting, do not add your string, even obfuscated, even hashed, even encrypted, in compile time. And by that, I mean adding your string like here, or make a constant variable. So the first thing you guys need to remember is add your important string, important argument, values, all these at runtime. And that means, for example, you can add some functions for your binary to ask or to take arguments, like Apollo server, and I can say, okay, I will define like some switch, like dash dash my secret, and then in follow I will add my secret key. So if I do this, it will be runtime. But if you just take this and add in your code, that would be compile time. Okay, so first, any question? Let me check the chat. Okay, no, not that much question. Great. So the first step normally for adding a string or value or anything important to a code or any binary would be normally using environment variable. An environment variable, for those who maybe don't know, we have a variables inside our code. Here, for example, this is one of them, or the address we just added is another one. These are variables. I mean, these are constant, but because these are values. We have environment variable as well. So inside your shell, bash shell, or a PowerShell in Windows, or like a Z shell in MacBook. Normally they use Z shell, but well, maybe they are going to. I mean, I heard some news about upgrading that, but in all of those, you can define some environment variable, and that environment variable will be accessible throughout your shell or under your username. And why is that? Because if we go to your, like in Linux, if I just cat my profile, I just added this seed phrase for today, and you can see I've add this seed phrase into my profile. And this means the export means these are my environment variables. And you can add same thing for, for making sure to your bash RC as well. So same thing, and there's a seed here. So in our case right now, we are going to add or seed to this guy by using environment variable. And I can say that this is the less secure way that we are going to start with, less secure in that runtime. Okay. So again, let me check any question. Let me see. Okay, I see Piotr's hands. What do you think, Piotr?
Hey, just wanted to ask you, how likely do you think will it be for, let's say I have a backend server running, and I have a memory stored in my environment variable. How likely do you think it is for a bad actor to basically hack my server and somehow get access to this new one?
That's the point. So normally, if you want to run a backend server, I mean, that's like a kind of design pattern, or very kind of a standard design pattern. You will create a new user in your server. Unix, Windows, doesn't matter. You will create a new user and you call it server. And if you want to provide this environment variable, you have to provide this environment variable for that specific user. Who is the server? And the other user, they do not have access to other user environment variable, because all of these are isolated. So you cannot say that I will, for example, we have a root here. So in a root event, we have environment variable. Let me go to back a little bit. So we see we have again that bash RC. Sorry, I just went too far. So we have the bash RC and we have profile. I don't see profile here, I think, but yeah, we have profile as well. So you might say that, what if I will assign this environment in root, my root, and then that program will take access to this? But in my experience, maybe someone knows now, I wasn't able to get an access of environment variable of someone else, especially root, from another person. So you have to provide in your server. And once your server gets hacked, normally, that's always the case, the user of that server get hacked and the access will be provided for that user. So since this profile and bash RC are, as we can see, is read, and of course this is going to read write, but maybe you don't know, these are the permissions for the user. And since normally this is the same case for bash RC and profile for the server user. That hacker can just do the cat.profile. Let me exit from this guy. Cat.profile and see everything. Doesn't need to have even write access. And if you do not give the read access to this file, well, basically you cannot provide environment variable to your program. That's why it is less secure. So once your system get hacked, the first place people will look, I mean, it is not even people do like writing these cat profile, anything. No, there are bash script which analyze your whole system and find everything inside your system, and maybe even actually if you want, we can run these and find maybe these are these information important or not. But let me show you, for example, linp's so linp's is just a shell script. If you want, you can run it in your system. Don't worry, you can read the code. Everything's open source. And it will look into everything in your Linux server. We have the same thing for Windows as well. And it will find those password secret key that you store in your environment variable. But you might say, what if it is a file? Yeah, it will find that. If you put that seed phrase into a file, but we will look there, like that would be like second level of security, and how do we that? But it will find that. Like if I just run this, you can see that it will easily find all these very like secure thing. I mean, you think it is secure. And also let me duplicate. So it's just like environment. You see, it will just check it. I don't need to even run anything. And if I run this, for example, in your server, if you don't have any event listener or logger or any other extra security, like how this your server is behaving, and like running these linpies in your system means suspicious. And you have to have the tools to just tell you that this is a suspicious activity. You won't understand. You can just, and also I should say that after running this, it will erase every track or record it has, and it will try to do it. But once it's running, no. But you can see like, oh, my SQL password was inside the environment variable, and now it is here, or the API key. So yeah, it is not that much secure to use environment variable, but this is the first thing, and it is up to you guys to decide what you should do. And it is safer, easier, or anything. Yeah, that's it. But let me send this link if you like to check this out. I'm doing some crazy hacking and stuff, but although it is not that much hacking, it is just actually, you can see, and privilege escalation actually is one step of normally red teaming or penetration testing, which means that I got access to your system already. So I have access, and now I want to escalate my privilege. Normally that means from whatever user there is to root, or in Windows to administrator. That's the whole thing. And we are trying to do that by this privilege escalation. And if you want to know what we did, like, because the whole team today is mostly focused on security, maybe you will like these different methods. But if you read these methods and you might want to go deeper, you can show. So there is a website called Mitra Attack, and thanks to Microsoft to give us this really great resource. Let me share it in the chat. And these are the step normally. So first, of course, is a reconnaissance and finding around like who you are, your company, server, where is it? All this, which is all this. They are all sorts of these are methods, and then we will get the initial access. Like for example, we are inside your system. We do some execution, like that's this guy's execution, because you might remove or reduce all this execution from your server. Like you can actually limit execution privilege to your server. So maybe that will be another case, like how we can find a folder or place that you missed or the sysadmin missed, and I can execute a script there. And then, of course, persistence. Persistent means that once I got access to your system, I should be there. Because if you reset your system, removing, there will be some cron job or some schedule. Like it is a program that you can run it by a schedule. We have same thing for Windows, which is actually a schedule, they call it. But in Linux, we call it cron job. And that cron job can actually search into your stuff and see, oh, there is this file, so let's remove it. And then if we do that, then now the next step would be privilege escalation, which means I want to escape from what privilege I have under your server and reach into root level. And then, of course, there is defense. I mean, normally these two are into same thing, because in order to do privilege escalation, normally you have to do the defense evasion. Defense evasion, like it's not antivirus or whatever. I don't want to just disappoint you that much, but like there are some other tools like NDR, MDR, like all these things that running maybe in your system or in your organization. But basically means that they are event listeners and they are log readers, and like there is something called like a product called Splunk, or in this, Windows we have something built in called Sysmoon, and Sysmoon, anything happen in your system, raise an event. And Sysmoon's normally if anything happen in your system, like if I run that script, I get an event, or if I get illegal memory access, I will get an event. You can read all this thing. The most important maybe event would be event number 10, which means ID, it's process access. That's the most important thing. Malware developers or malware analyzers, they will look into it, because normally it means that there is a program or vulnerable program in your system, and I'm using that program to execute my stuff. So your system think that that program is running everything, although it is not. So that means illegal access to memory, which is a process access, and so on and so forth. So yeah, there are these things, sorry, it went too much in very depths, but I swear I haven't even scratched the surface, like regards to these. Like these are like, if I want to go through it, it would be like we have to have a lot of session. But anyway, where we okay. But let's just start from that first step. Let's assume that we have this on our environment variable, and somehow we did our OS or server hardening enough that the hacker doesn't get an access. I mean, let's assume that. How do we do that? And again, I should say that same thing happened with any other language, because any other language, especially a compiled one, if you want something, like we will write some code right now, they don't generate something by themselves. There are APIs, or I mean, they are code or endpoint provided by your system, by your Linux or your Windows. And in our case, like, hey, I want this environment variable, these function will call those APIs. So you can't simply just take some of this code, like copying, like all this thing that we are going to write now, and paste it in ChatGPT or something and say, hey, convert this to Java or C or C++ or anything, or Python. And easily, like easily it will do that for you. But yeah, first, I hope I answer your question, Piotr. But I see, by the way, did I answer your question, Piotr, or did I answer too much?
You did. I just have one last question. Would it be safer to put this key, say in the morning, into the root user, or
Yeah,
would you
exactly.
do
Yeah,
that?
that,
Okay.
that would be good, and we are going to see it. But there will be some, again, precaution, and of course, you guys need to do some cautious act in order to do that, because in order to get access to root, you have to do, like in our case, sudo, or if you have in Windows, you have to run that execution in a shell that you run it under administrator privilege. Like you will see in your system, like run as administrator. And again, that would have some some issues. So yeah, we don't have like best solution, but there are some level that we will discover together. But yeah, the one that you just mentioned, Piotr, is much more secure and reliable than what we are going to do now. But I see
Okay.
hands of Martin. Yeah, Martin.
Say I have a default Ubuntu install with Andamio.
Okay.
How easy or hard is it to hack? Because everything can be hacked. Or is it secure, or do I need to do extra
Well,
stuff?
uh, you know, I can say, I mean, actually, this is the very general understanding among cybersecurity or anyone researching in this field, even they are not professional. Nothing is absolute secure. It's just matter of time. It is just matter of time. Please remember that nothing is absolute secure. Like you can say, oh, it is like NSA level of proof, like it is army or DoD level. Yeah, but they got hacked already. Like the latest, like I cannot say even like how the impact was, because it's so confidential. And but I can say, like the level they designed, some Russian hacker attack a company called Fire Solar Winds, and Solar Winds are really, really important. Solar Winds cyber security, really, really important. And they are providing, especially regards to these events and log and all these things. So these Russian hackers attack to their server, find like put their code and their malicious software at this stage. And I'm going to back to your Martin question. And like, you know, if I want to compile a language, like for example, I would do just go build, right? So go build again is a tool. So what they've done was hacking the go build. So they were trying to update the SolarWinds binary and producing this binary and release it. So they didn't do anything to the code. The code was absolutely untouched. But at the moment of compiling this code to the binary code of SolarWinds, they were injecting their code. And for months, no one noticed. They just did some stupid mistake. I don't know, they were some drunk or something or whatever. But that actually exposed them. So, but how did they get hacked? Like SolarWinds, how did they get hacked? All these cybersecurity, very secure, whatever, right? Well, the official story by SolarWinds is we had an internship program, and there was an intern,
Always
and
the interns.
yeah, an intern, and he had this password like my amazing SolarWinds internship. That was like his password, and they got it. To be honest, still until today, no one believes that. No one believes that they got some intern and that level of stupidity in the password. So, but how did they get hacked? I mean, what is the unofficial story? Well, let's go for example, should we go for, I mean, let's go for even Mitra attack. So there are some tools that they can just analyze your website. So I can just this web analyzer or something. The spelling is little hard. So I can see that, okay, they are using CDN, Cloudflare, CDN.js, Fastly, Analytic this, font, and JavaScript libraries, jQuery, okay, UI frameworks. So these can be exploitable. These can be vulnerable because I can see even their version. And some place, for example, exploit DB. I can search for this, for example, jQuery. Let's see that. Do we have any problem with jQuery, like version 3.5.1? Well, let's search jQuery. Well, we have exploit. I mean, and I should say exploit means there was a vulnerability already, a weakness. Someone found that already, and they found a way in order to abuse it or use it. So it is just again, just like for example, this guy. Like XSS, if you guys don't know, XSS is an attack, so I can get access to the website, like the cookies of other users and other stuff. So the attack of XSS is just doing this, like adding this tag. You see that image? And I have your system. I mean, your server is now hacked. That's all. I mean, of course I'm very simplifying because I don't want to go over the deeper level because you've seen that what would be this step. But basically that would be my first step. That would be my initial access. That's it. Just one tag can do this.
So
And
is this then like,
go ahead.
is this like I open this website as an external user and I just modify the site by hand? And then I have
Yeah.
alert box.
And you will modify it. But if you modify it normally, well, it is your system. In your system, you can modify anything you like. But
Yeah.
how do I can modify this in such a way that it would be persistence in fields, like in chat. In a chat of a website, instead of I say hello everyone, like here, like in Zoom, I want, let's imagine the Zoom now is a website. So I'm going to paste this here, and then this tag will be run. And if I just refresh that page, that tag also will be run by the server, not by me.
Yeah.
It will be there in their page anymore. And it is not just like, well, okay, this is like looks silly and stupid. Okay, what does it do? But let me Shogun extension Chrome. We had Shogun, but anyway, okay. So we have some like amazing XSS. And awesome XSS, and you can find all these payloads, like bypassing encoding. Like there are so many tricks, so many stuff, and all of them will be just one of the initial access. This is one of them, one of these things. And well, you can read about. Another point is your server, even it's just an IP, like 149.121, like 1021, and that's it. It doesn't resolve in any DNS, doesn't have name, anything. That again is like, don't think that it is like visible. No, there will be ports, and those ports means a place that people can come in. And if your port is vulnerable, they can come in. For example, normally a website which has the MySQL, for example, I think 15 something MySQL port. Yeah, this guy. So MySQL port, normally, if you have that in your server, for example, this will be vulnerable to attack here. I can search again MySQL, and you see, like, okay, I think this is the latest one. It is not 2 years. But it has to be run inside Linux, inside the system. But in some of them, I don't see it here. You can get access to the MySQL because it is not hardening. Because your database again should be secure and it has to be hardening also. So yeah, the port of your server, which I don't, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know there is a tools called. Do I have npm and map here? Yeah. So for example, I can just do nmap. Nmap is a tools to find the active port and the protocols is being used by that server, and then starting to query them, find some issues, and you might say that, well, how dangerous can be. Well, we had, I mean, several years ago, we had very, very dangerous exploit and hack, and actually it cost billions of dollars, called Eternal Blue. And it was a weapon, a cyber weapon, stolen from NSA and weaponized by a North Korea group called Lizards, if I remember them correctly, and of course by some other very famous ATP groups called Fancy Bear Russian groups, and probably later, yeah, Iranian groups and Chinese group and everyone. Like it was a spread like everyone. And Eternal Blue was SMB and SMB version 1 especially, but we got for version 2 and 1.2 as well. So the only thing that your server need to be vulnerable for this was just opening this SMB port. Like an SMB is for like server message block. It is for sharing stuff between programs or between user, and you want to sharing, taking something, putting something, and that's all. Although SMB is one of the worst written code out there, something like FTP. Although they've written it in C, but these SMB and FTP were really hasty code. I mean, you can read about it. But yeah, just port SMB port was open in your server, and that was it. That's what it, you didn't need to do. Like, yeah, you could have done everything in your system. That's why first and foremost important thing about your server, security. Everything is not just like adding better antivirus, or I don't know, some great hacker as your cybersecurity engineer or IT guy or whatever. No, be update your system, update yourself, update the server, update.
Yeah, I always have auto update.
Yeah. But again, that would be, updating. Updating is hard. Really, yeah, it is hard because you might break your stuff, especially if the update means upgrading.
Well, you can set it to only security updates.
Yeah. So just having a server, no. You have to first, I mean, my first check the ports. If you use this server for your personal use, just open 22, port 22, which is for SSH port. That's all. And if you want to use it for something else, just be careful. Like, don't open or use RDP port. RDP port, I think, 40. What was this guy? RDP normally is remote desktop or screen sharing, all this stuff. Like when I, right now, my RDP port is open right now. Zoom is using that, so you guys can see my screen. But if I want to do like more, I can, I mean, we don't have it in Zoom. I don't know, maybe they have. Like I can give access to a user like you, for example, Martin, so you can do, like you can move my mouse, write something, whatever. Like you have the access to my system. And this is a port. And if you open this port, if you open this door or window or whatever, that would be enough for a hacker to just smash that port enough to find something. So yeah, be careful of your ports. If you have a server, be update. And also welcome to this world of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. Fear, what was fear?
You're a great tour guide for this dangerous wilderness. Thank you.
So I'm sorry I didn't do that much code, but let's do it. Let's do it very quickly. So what I'm going to do would be, like, first would be that getting that from environment variable. So let's go for seed, phrase, yeah. And then the package in Go would be OS, which, as I said, it would be same thing, and get nav, yeah. And then I would add this name, like this guy. Let me again, profile, that profile. So the name of the variable, we can put seed, whatever. So I'm going to copy it. It's hard to type this seed, copying would be better. And then I'm just saving, and beautifully we have the OS package. OS package is a built-in package. That's why it is at top. Like if you download Go and any other, because as I said, Windows or Linux APIs, which this program talks to them, are kind of constant, and normally we know what they are. So they are built in, so you don't need to download or anything. And that's a really good thing, because they are built in, they are more reliable than like something I downloaded from somewhere, because that would again create supply chain attack and so on and so forth. So anyway, so now I got this my seed phrase, but should we handle the error? We can like say if it is empty, just do some error instead of panicking. But the thing is, what I learn normally about especially seed phrase for environment, there is a space, because the code we are writing, by the way, for this os.get and env works both in Linux and Windows or Mac, doesn't matter. At the behind the scene, it will handle like what's OS it is I'm running, and then I will contact to that API and gets the variable. We don't need to worry about that. But the thing is, this space. This space between these words are really bothersome sometimes, because the space in Linux and Windows behave differently for some reason. So for being safe, but if you want to use your code for different environments, but if you know what's going on, like it's going to be run in your server, Linux server, and nothing else, and you don't need to. You can just pass this seed phrase here, and that's it. But it would be wiser to do something that I'm going to do. So first, let's get the words out of that. Words. And we will do some string manipulation, which would be a strings, no, strings dot field. I want fields, yeah, fields. And then I'm going to pass this seed phrase into that. And what it does is going to get all those words, all these guys, and just forget about whatever between them. Just get the words, and then we will add or a space. The space Golang understand or code understand here. So we have a very nice and tidy. So like we have seed phrase. So like you can see the string, and then we'll use again strings. Yeah, join. Yeah, exactly. Well, nice AI. So the idea here is I just join those words which I got and add a space between them. And I'm going to use this guy here. And let's just run our code and see, do we get a transaction hash or something? Go build. Let's clear. Running Apollo. Great. But I forgot, I just added this guy, so it will print my seed phrase here, so I can be sure that I have seed phrase. Where is it? Here. So admin wallet, as maybe you guys remember, this is a structure. So imagine this is like a table or a map, and these are the keys, and these will be the values. And it will just stay in your memory. And you might say, what if the memory gets hacked? Yeah, memory gets hacked and we have dump memory and all these things, but that's a whole another story. And we will touch on about that. But now it is a runtime. So we got our seed phrase. We didn't put anything inside the code, and we provide that seed phrase at runtime. And now we have them. So that would be just using the environment variable. But what if we want to use the file? And let's do some more step or less more secure. Because if we put this inside the file called seed phrase, seedphrase.txt, let's put that here. Yeah, like seed .txt. And then copying this guy here. But as we had that conversation, if you get hacked, you will this file will be fine. Like absolutely, be sure it will be fine. And as I said, now is a script, but it's matter of time. AI will do that. Like running the same script will be inside your system. Actually, it is under development. I've seen some prototype of that. So you see that these script, all these things are inside. Like if I show like a builder, source. I mean, right now it is Python. There were a version of this guy in Bash script, but let's imagine like this is the guy. So and it will go inside your stuff and find things. Okay, like these are the Bash script. It will run all these Bash script to get all your stuff, and you can just run your system information. What system information is exposed? And you can just run this Bash script in your system. Of course, you can read it if there's something very very fishy. You can eradicate it or just remove it. But the thing is, what I've seen that all this Bash script in that new maybe we call it reconnaissance or search into your stuff, will be done by the ChatGPT. So there is API, they wrote the API, and ChatGPT is going to put his, her whatever head inside your system and look into it. So now we have a thing which is a smart. And for example, for a Bash script, which is not as smart, your seed phrase doesn't look that much like seed phrase. You can say, okay, my seed phrase, I want to make it more secure, but I'm just removing the space. Look how secure it becomes. Yeah, your bash script or that bash script cannot make a sense out of that. But a ChatGPT easy. I can just say let me actually show you. I can just say like these are my seed phrase, and let me find a ChatGPT. Bring my ChatGPT here, and say like find the words, or actually list the words from this string. How secure it is. See, I was very secure. Like, it didn't take that much. And this damn thing is going to be connected to those damn things. So yeah, don't try to kind of like sugarcoating these stuff. Although it's sweet, but no. But what should we do? But it is our design, it is our system or bus set that you have to use text and file. That's it. Okay, Piotr said very nice solution. So we will put this file inside our root. Like it would be in our root, in your root directory. And root or administrator in Windows, these users have the highest privilege. Although there are some things that they don't have access, like you cannot just remove everything on your system, like sudo rm this. If I just enter this, my system will just start to remove everything. I mean, actually, I can put like -rf, so it will go recursively to everything and remove everything. But no, it is not. Like, it will destroy a lot of stuff, be sure, but it won't destroy everything because there are some processes, there are some places that even the root doesn't have access, and if root wants to get access, then it has to get access outside of the whole system. Well, that's a whole other story. But you can be rest assured about that. But you might say, are those privileges are safe? Unfortunately, no, my friend. Those are not safe even. There are malwares which will install on your hardware, like for example on BIOS. We call them bootware. And you can, the only thing you can do for eradicating that is just buying a hammer and just saying goodbye to your beloved server and start smashing it. That's it. Like you have to physically remove that piece of hardware from your system. I mean, there are of course some of them there are ways, but if bootware or some malware on BIOS or CMOS level, like in your hardware, get installed, well, yeah, that's a whole another story. So for root, we assume the root have the highest, and in order to reach it, well, let's go for like sudo su, and I'm going to put my very secure password. And here I'm in my folder, I mean, this username. I'm going to go back to the root user. So cd root. Okay, let's go for the desktop. So now I am in the desktop of root. Did I make it sit here? Let's see. Yeah. So I just made that seed file here. I was preparing and stuff, and you can see that the same seed is here. So my file now, it is in root. Great. So let's go back and let's see, can I read it? It's cat, it should be root, and then desktop, and then seed file.txt. No, permission denied. In fact, I cannot even get this. Like I can't even go to root, cd root. Sorry, cd dash cd root. So, okay, then now it's secure, right? The file is somewhere that I do not have access. So let's write a code for getting this seed phrase out of this file and see how this behaves if I just run it casually. Let's go back to our app wallet. Same thing will happen for file, because as I said, these spaces are funny behavior in Linux, Mac, and Windows, especially between Linux and Windows. So we will just keep these two guys. No problem, no harm done. Let's comment this guy. And let's again go for seed phrase. And it would be, I think, os.read file. And then we will provide the file here. Sorry. And let's go for the file path. File path was, I think this is the right file path, yeah. So copying here, pasting that, and passing the file path here. Let's see what's the error. Well, read file return 2, which normally is the value, like whatever was inside is inside, because we say the read file. We don't say, hey, find the file. So they take any content out of it and just give us. But it returns another variable called error as well. And let's handle it like if error nil, then fmt.println print error reading. Yeah, that's all. And then of course we will I think we have to convert this to a string. I'm not sure. Yeah, because you see that we have this. So for fields, it has to be a string, but what we got is byte. So we have to convert this byte, like a byte array, into a string, which would be, well, let's do this one. Let's call this content. Sorry, file content. And then see the phrase, and then it would be nothing like I think a string. Yeah, string. That's just enough. And it would give you the file content, and now everyone is happy, no problem, no harm done, everything's nice. So no error. Let's run this and see what would happen. First, compile it, go build, and then running the binary. Oh, we get an error. So we have this read panic, invalid mnemonic. So we got the mnemonic, but it is invalid. Interesting. And why is it interesting? Because we should have get actually error, a permission error. We cannot read this guy. So maybe, so in order to get access to the root, you have to run your binary with sudo. So let's run with sudo and see. So yeah, well, the error is strange because the error says that I got empty, which I thought that, and in some case it would run, but I don't know, maybe Chris is here, can help us. It should tell us we don't have permission first. I mean, the error should be like, I don't have permission, so I cannot read it. and it should just, I don't know, panic, or I mean, maybe I didn't handle the error properly. So let's do this. Error reading, and then dots, and then get the error. And you know what? Return as well, so we don't get FMT. Okay, I mean, it should be, it's I think fine. No. Yeah. Okay. So again, let's run it without like go build, and let's run it without sudo. So yeah, okay, we get the error. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't handle the error properly. So now we see that root, this guy's permission denied. And because we have this permission denied everything, well, this is again not good error handling, any code, like everything, like I just made it return. But anyway, so yeah, we got the permission. And if we just run that again with sudo, nice. So this is, of course, much more secure than what we did with environment variable. But what would be the problem? Like, what do you think? I mean, let me ask you actually. Let me put your mind as a kind of hacker. I mean, not even security. Like, don't think of being a defender. Now think as an attacker. And somehow you know these information, like did the reconnaissance, you had some couple of drink with whoever wrote this, like with me, and I told you everything. I didn't tell you about my life choices or my girlfriend or whatever, but I told you about where I store my seed phrase and how the things work in Golang. Maybe that conversation was more interesting that the issue in life. So you know this information somehow. And based on your knowledge right now, and you are an attacker, and as I said again, let's again imagine you had the access to the server as well. So this binary is running, but it was running by sudo, and you can read in the PS, which is I can well, not that much. Forgot the tag for PS. PS shows the process, everything in your system. Just right, I forgot about the switch. It shows everything. But the thing is, you will understand, like, okay, this guy is running by sudo. What would be the issues? PS3. Thank you, Pierre. No, -3. PS3. Yeah, okay. Sorry, there was a space. Well, I didn't expect this much. Like I thought there should be a table, but yeah, that's fine. Like, imagine you will understand that you cannot understand it here, to be honest. But let's imagine you will run and you will understand that binary was run by sudo root server or root admin or whomever knows the root password. What would be the issue, do you think? Any suggestion? Any idea? You are an attacker, by the way.
If you run it, you have privileges are much higher. So if you can run arbitrary code on the server, you can run a lot more.
Exactly. So your server has a normal privilege. Your server run everything as normal user, server user, and you define everything for that server based on that privilege, permissions, read, write, execution, etc. But once you do this, sudo, and running a binary, anything, a binary, in your system, it would be visible in this like system analyzing or reconnaissance, that yeah, there are some binaries executed or ran by admin or root or whoever have the privilege, like root privilege. If that binary is fine, like it is, like there is no problem. Like there are many binaries in your system that run not even automatically, not even directly, but automatically by the root privilege or like very hardware level, like low level privilege. But the thing is that binary is done by some other groups, and there are many secure ways in order to secure it, and vulnerabilities, all these things. But your code, it doesn't have that much security. And why is that? Because like, look at it now. Like, imagine this is my code. This code didn't cover many edge cases, any security cases, like heap overflow, or the string. Like, okay, what if there will be some stupid thing in this file? Like, what? How can I change this? There are a lot of vulnerability like happening. We call them binary exploitation. We can read about it, and it is a very scary exploitation, even for cybersecurity. But it's really, really fun. Explosive. Well, maybe we have explosive like power form exploitation. Yeah. And a binary exploitation is that's a job. That's the job of a binary exploiter hacker. I'm going to get your binary from the memory, dumping that somehow. I'm going to get that in your system because I am in your system now. Even I have, if I find your like you are open source project, so already I have your code. I will compile it and do all my stuff in my system, and when I get back to your system, I'm going to run that exploit or use that vulnerability, which I found in my system because I had your code. So the whole job is, I mean, not the whole, to be honest, but 80% of the job in binary exploitation means illegal memory access. So I'm going to find this binary is using what exactly? Like those APIs I told you guys, Windows, Linux, all these things. And I'm going to test and try it with all sorts of stuff, how I can abuse that. Like, is it secure or not? For example, you might wonder, like let's see, like sudo, guys. Sudo is a tool. Sudo was vulnerable. Sudo have a, I mean, let's go for edge. Sudo is a tool, right? Same, it is a binary. And it is very essential, right? Because this is the only gatekeeper between any other user and root. So if I be able to hack this guy, basically I can access root anywhere, especially in Unix, of course in Linux. So there was a where I find that guy, I think it was role. So the problem was role was accepting a string, but in the code, and it is written with C, and it is written, I don't know how long ago, I think 30 years ago or something, sudo, and it's been upgrading, examined by all sorts of people. So it is not like an open source again, I should say. So it was under so much heavy supervision by everyone, but they missed this part. I don't want to say very, very for sure, but if I remember, it was the R, the role, which accept again a string, and it wasn't handling that string properly. And I could pass a code, a shell code. Let me show you what do I mean by shell code. Shell code, I mean, actually assembly shell code was assembly shell code. We have example here. Something like this. obj dump that I mean the binary, these strings, and then I will paste this string inside the that tag. But how? Let's imagine like this one. The issue was it wasn't handling if a string is more than 256 length. So the hack was I'm going to add this a until reaching to 256, and then I'm going to add my shellcode, the binary one. I mean not 0 and 1 binary. I mean this guy. And it would run it. It would run it. So it would be like a B, C, Z, T, Z, and we have a memory. We have, I don't call it, I mean memory. We have a issue with the whole computer architecture. Our CPU doesn't understand what is a text or string and what is an actual code. It doesn't. If you give a string, it will read as it is binary. So you can basically run the program if you provide opcode or any machine language, and it will run it. And that was it. So this this issue was heap overflow, and by overflowing this object, I would get access to other part of the memory. I don't want to go deep into that binary exploitation and heap overflow, stack overflow, all these overflow issue. Like we have integer overflow, stack overflow, and under integer overflow, like it goes to the minus. So the whole idea is there is a bound inside your memory, inside that box, which hold the value, which, for example, in a 64-bit, it is like 64-bit, 32-bit is 32 bits. But once it's overflowed all these variable, then everything after that will be like pasted or put in next box of that memory. We have all these memory address. These are the memory address. And like these are assembly codes, and I think this is this is one shell code. So I'm pushing this object into that and executing. But anyway, sorry, I didn't want to go too deeper. But yeah, these are like memory places. That this place, like imagine this is one place box, and it was accepting this guy, and now it's overflowed, and the rest will be in other places. And what will I run with this? I will run like with sudo. Like if I just say, hey, sudo su, this will do something on that memory and that execution. I'm going to just surpass this, bypass this, eliminate this, remove this. All these things can happen. By that, like even shell code actually means that you will run a code that will give you a shell access, but you can just pass that. And that's it. So the issue would be your binary would be the first target. Like if your system get hacked, first place red teamer will look into your not just system, I mean organization, anywhere. They will not try to hack, like okay, let's say like something very common, like sudo here, even the sudo. By the way, how do they find that it's interested? They use some fuzzing stuff, brute forces this binary. But I won't look to this like, hey, let's sit here for years and find a binary of some like binary exploitation or whatever from that. No, it would take so much time, and it is not. And actually, if I have a exploitation, I can sell it. I can sell it to someone like Zodium, and this is premium exploit acquisition platform. They will pay you $2 million for a zero click. I mean, they have the charts. I mean, sorry, I should go with the. Does it come? They will pay you two. I mean, that was the last price. Let me go with probably there should be some VPN. So bounties. And yeah. So up to $1 million for, I mean, this is for desktop and server. So if I hack sudo, if I find exploiting sudo, I can sell it to this guy. These are like Lockheed Martin. I mean, if you know these companies, they are very famous in weaponry and building all this weaponry. Well, to be honest, my opinion, weaponry are amazing. Yeah, I know it's for killing human, but really marvelous piece of engineering. Zerodium is like a Lockheed Martin for cybersecurity. They buy and sell cyber weapons. As simple as that. And these are the chart for price. And the most expensive are not the server and desktop. The most expensive are the mobiles, up to $2.5 million for as Android FCP zero click. So there are like iMessage, WhatsApp. Yeah, of course there are. You can iOS. And interestingly, iOS was expensive than Android, but now I think because of the more adoption or something, Android now is more expensive. So yeah, how can I say, like if you find this pseudo issue, like a hack or something, you can contact me. We can go to dark web or even, like, by the way, Zerodium is very legitimate company. Like there is no problem of them. They're absolutely legitimate. Either you can contact them, no problem. It is under the law. I mean, I think they are US based, I don't know exactly, to be honest. But even if they are not, they wouldn't go to this. So yeah, there are other places in dark web, deep web, whatever, black market. But the thing is, first thing would be for a red teamer to start to try to hack your system or find vulnerability or issues would be your code, your own code. It is a code of CRM, server, whatever, everything. What you wrote would be the first target. So just be mindful of running this. If you have to, well, so we don't have a very full solution. We have some sort of like trade-off. But what if you might say, well, okay, this is a plain text in root. Can we do some encryption and decryption? I've seen, by the way, let me read the chat. Yeah, Piotr, why not? Well, it's 2.5 million. I mean, I'm not good in mobile. I didn't choose mobile. I didn't have good friends in mobile exploitation. Therefore, my path didn't end up there. But yeah, there is good money if you're interested. let's do that. But yeah, Claudio, paid PBL hack. Yeah, I hope there are actually there are some good hacking course which you guys can read. But the thing is, if you learn something in hacking, probably after some like 2 months or 3 months, it would be outdated. It's really a really demanding job that you have to be updated. It's very, very fast. And not just updating that, hey, I just got the news. No. I mean, of course, it is a big field, very vast. But the thing is, if you want to do some like these stuff that I was talking about, and you find it fascinating and amazing, But you have to learn so many different languages, like the assembly I just showed you, reverse engineering, different platform, different languages, and yeah, that's it. But as you see, the official price is high, but there were some other weapon tools, which Jeff Bezos got hacked by that. So if there is a rumor that Saudi Arabia bought that hack from an Israeli startup for 50 something million dollar, and they hacked Jeff Bezos like Prince. I mean, we can just think like Jeff Bezos hack. I mean, it is like you see, like I can read all the story. I'm not making up something for myself. So yeah, this guy got a beef for that, chopping off that journalist, and he wanted, and Washington Post belonged to Jeff, so he wanted to revenge Jeff, and then Jeff had an affair, and this guy knew about it. Well, they have enough money to hire amazing detectives, and then he bought that hack, which is it's really absolute piece of code, marvelous. Like it is amazing if you guys want to read about that hack and how that hack happened. But that basically was he sent a photo, a simple photo in WhatsApp to Jeff, and that was it. His phone got hacked, and they got the photos of his relationship with some, like his affair, and they sent it to his wife, and we got the most expensive divorce in human history. So yeah, we have it is the whole story. You can read about it, and so the price here is actually really cheap, and people say, really, I can sell this for really like 50 something million dollars. But so if you have the tool, if you have the weapon, most likely you will have the market as well. Anyway, blocking hacking course should be, yeah, sure. So what would be the next step? Well, the next step first, do we have time, James? I just passed 3 minutes.
I know it's so hard to break now. Should we try to wrap in the next 15 or so?
I think so, but that actually the thing that I wanted to show doesn't help that, because the thing I wanted to talk about is encrypting this guy, the seed phrase, into this file. Then this is kind of that overkilling. Then using Cha-Cha algorithm, and I really recommend, if you want to use some encryption, go with Cha-Cha. I mean, for now, it's really great. Not the dance, sorry. Cryptography, it's a cipher. So yeah, this guy. And it is really amazing in Go and C, C++, especially with C and Go. It's really fast, faster than AES 256, and AES 256 and AES 1512 already got hacked, and it was a side channel hack. Basically, mathematically, it is impossible to hack this guy. Mathematically, it's impossible. Like, there is no way. But they found a way. They listened to the CPU noise. Your CPU, all those electrons make noise, and they listen. There is a very sensitive microphone. That microphone listen to the CPU, and
that is incredible. That's amazing.
So by listening to that, they understood that how it's decrypting, and then it got hacked. And there is this problem, and they couldn't figure it out. So the good thing is we have Cha-Cha. There are much more. There are greater. I don't know. People are building. None of them are immune to quantum, of course, but yeah. And so if you want to go some military grade encryption, several encryption, I recommend this. If you want to store your necro code or something, don't go with AES. Just check out at least try some research about this. And the other point, actually, and I should say, by the way, they found other ways as well to hack someone by this. They hack the TV and convert the speaker of that TV into a microphone, and they record the keyboard of that, the keyboard people were typing by that TV in that office. And then through some AI stuff, they found that what the password was for that computer, and they got in. So that's some crazy hack that I don't want to make you anxious or really like feeling like nothing is secure. But this is the same logic of if we say, hey, what's the point of living? We are eventually die, right? Or we are all gonna die. What's the point of living? Yeah, if you are a fan of a nihilistic ideology or whatever, you can say that. But the important is when, how, why, and all sort of this question about journey. Sure, there is no secure system or this, and it is just matter of time. All these things will just slow people. Like I will encrypt this guy, create a key out of the binary, convert that key into, I don't know, some encoding, first hex, that hex to HTML, HTML to URL, URL to base 64 or something, and then do some other stuff and try to obfuscate, encrypt, whatever, and then feed this through several programs. Like there is another server just doing this for this program, provide all this. Absolutely, all this was tested. I mean, for example, for that server to server, we have gRPC, we have HTTP2, which is really, really good and secure, and actually is making trouble for blue teams. Blue teams are the guys for defending the organization, because there is something called command and control. We call it C2 or CNC, which control this malware. And if they open a channel on HTTP2, well, you can read about HTTP2 in Golang. HTTP2 is really good secure, but still there are some way to monitor this guy. But anyway, the thing is, sure you can do, but it will slow your response time. It will slow your system, all this thing, all that. But you know what? The whole internet even has key. The whole internet we have has keys, and these keys are handed to some people that we don't know, and there are some cycle or some protocol that they just move around these keys between these people. And you know what? Or Cardano have keys, Genesis keys. And same thing happened. There were some protocol in Emergo, Cardano Foundation, and IOG, how to handle these keys. So eventually, what you end up is you have to do something even physical to store these, like you put in a USB or I don't know, whatever. But I just want to kind of wrap our session with this. We have this saying, even very, famous. There are some places they wrote it on the wall, actually, some places. Don't think that your code is weak and all these are very weak, so what should I do? Let me tell you, and let me be very honest with you. The weakest link, as we call it, in an organization, in a system, is not the code or any whatever here, it's the humans. You are the most vulnerable piece of this whole system. So for first and foremost, take care of yourself. I don't mean going to jam, and if you like, go, sure, no problem. But don't tell, don't just brag about all your stuff. Be updated, all these things, just read about it, educate yourself, educate each other, development team. I tell them, hey, don't do stupid stuff, and try to strengthen your organization, the people, the human resource. That's it. Of course, we have attack. We call it social engineering for attacking all this stuff, but I'm not talking about that even. The weakest links are human. And sure, we will substitute all these humans with AI and all these things, but that's another time, another talk. We can talk about like we will develop AI to hack another AI and then another AI to control this AI. Yeah, that's another discussion. But right now, in many places, whether you are running a server, you're participating in a team or whatever, really just think about it. Think like in the honest level. You are more weaker than, like I as a coder, I am weaker than this code. This code can run indefinitely without any problem if I just don't open my mouth and say something that I shouldn't say, or tell something, or store something somewhere, or didn't take care of my positions, or all the things that I should take care of. Nothing can stop that unless you. So regards to these codes, there are all sorts of ways. Some of them better, some of them are smaller. So I mean, bigger, smaller, complex, less complex, faster, cheaper, better, more expensive, and always there is this trade for, if you go with more security, most likely you will decrease the performance, even in organization. It's like you have a hallway, no door, no problem. You can just run from the beginning till the end. But if there are just multiplied doors at the beginning, at the end, middle, also it will slow you down. Same concept. But regardless of all this stuff, just take care of yourself. Be update and be strong. So I don't know, maybe another time we will talk about some encryption, like how you can encrypt these data with Cha-Cha, all this with Golang. Maybe we'll run this stuff with even on domicile, and then we showcasing you how we can do this, we're creating all sorts of courses. Like we have this plan for on domicile to do this, and we have Chris here, and we have planned to do a lot of amazing stuff, and we can talk about security parts alongside of those modules or section as well. But I thank you very much, and I want to leave you with that. Take care of yourself. But again, if you want to go gym, great. But I mean, like, update yourself. Thank you.
Incredible. Professor, thank you. That was so entertaining and informative on so many levels, partner.
Thank you.
Thank
And I'm sorry, and I should again say that I didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I can, like, if you want to go much deeper in like doing this stuff from very beginning, try this. Try Hack Me. It's free. You can try to do anything. It's completely free. Of course, there is payment. You can start learning like how you can do very simple, basic OS hardening, server protection, all this stuff. And once you've done this, and you want to create a credit for yourself or a CV for yourself, so you might get hired with some other organization, or at least they will accept you. There is a website called Hacker. I mean, for programming, like Hacker, but let me find I mean, do I have the thing? I don't think I have, but this is the website is Hack the Box. And in order to submit, I mean, that would be maybe one of the courses. I had this in my mind for a long time. You have to hack. The only way for registration in this website is hacking. Like you should hack this website. So you don't you cannot
So in order to sign up for an account, you're saying?
yeah. If I just
Yeah.
say I want to join as a hacker, like join free. Okay, great, nice, welcome. Join free, and then I should say that these especially this place is really legitimate place for many players. Like okay, kind of they changed that. Uh, did they change it? I hope they haven't. But let me bring my another browser and checking that do we get really yeah, I sign up already. I mean,
We need to start keeping a list of these links for future course iterations.
yeah, indeed. But I mean, there was. I mean, they've changed it. To be honest, I haven't visited this guy for a place, but they have a HTTP Academy lab business CTF. What I do is CTF, but with labs. Let me enter my accounts. I don't have. Well, English. I just want to kind of showcase what's going to see. You guys going to see the whole idea. There are a bunch of virtual machines, like those servers and IPs, ports, vulnerable binaries. All of them are available for free. Again, for free. I mean, as far as I know, I should again check it now, and then you can just test all the stuff you can as much as you possible, no problem. And once you do it, once you hack it, once you get a score, which the whole idea is there is a string, we call it a flag. Once you reach to that level and find that text file which has this flag, you will submit that, and then you're good to go. You get a score, and that score will be actually really valuable. So you can, well, this is their shyness. To be honest, I didn't log in for a long time. I don't know which password I guess stars. Yeah. So anyway, let me try some other password. No. Yeah, we okay. So then you can find job inside that. There is job. You can really find actual job. You can start as an intern, like really small job or something, and then you can move forward. So if you're interested in cybersecurity, not only you can learn here stuff, all this stuff we just talked about. I think they have added something regards to the smart contract. So yeah, my rank is hacker. Then where is my progress? I mean, they changed it all. Kind of they changed, but they changed many things. But yeah, like these are the machines. If you just hack them, you get the score, and after getting a score, you get this rank, and after getting rank, you can go for job abroad. And in job abroad, they said that hey, we want like this is for I think Germany or something. And then they will tell you that what level, like here, tech support, what level we want. So if you reach to a level, yeah, I am eligible for, but so it is kind of basically LinkedIn for cybersecurity engineers, guys. And there's all sort of stuff you can learn about. It's really interesting. Actually, maybe we can learn a lot of stuff from them and add to our Andamio. For example, this progress bar, which progress, where is that? These are the machines. Where am I? So like, I'm sorry, I don't okay, I don't waste your time more, but there were some places that shows your progress, and it was like this is the like this guy. I would love to see something like for Namio. So you can see that your knowledge in which direction is and better and good or less, so you can work around. So as you can see, my knowledge in process injection is really high because of the role I had, normally a malware analyst and a red teamer. As I said, normally this is the thing that we do, but I've done all sorts of other stuff as well. And yeah, so by the way, about the joining, still I think it is necessary or to hack. I mean, by the way, it is not that much difficult. It is like a game. You can do it by yourself, but anyway. Oh yeah, thank you. Sorry for taking
Cool.
this.
No, there's always something more. But thanks you all for staying over. Mix, thanks for really getting us going on this next level of path. Yeah, excited for what's next.
Yeah, thank you.
See y'all soon.
Thank you.
Yep.